as Moscow tries to regain momentum in the face of fierce resistance. Ukrainian military officials say Russia is reinforcing its troops on the front line of the battle for the eastern Donbas region. The British military's Defense Intelligence Agency says Russia has been forced to merge and redeploy depleted and disparate units, likely suffering from weakened morale in their ranks. Ukraine claims it continues to inflict losses on Russian forces that have failed to capture 3 target areas in Donbas.
The occupiers are doing everything to destroy any life in this area. Therefore, the defense of our land, the protection of our people, is literally a struggle for life.
Nowhere is the war's human toll more evident than in Mariupol. This is what remains of the once thriving city. Literally everything is gone, this resident says. I have nothing. Explosions were heard near the last Ukrainian holdout in Mariupol, a steel plant where an unspecified number of fighters and civilians have taken refuge. The latest satellite images show the plant's bombed-out ruins, roofs ripped apart, the telltale sign of a strike. Protesters gathered in Kyiv on Saturday to call on international leaders to help enable the evacuation of the besieged southern port city, as Ukraine's president warned the conflict.
There are still thousands of people who remain trapped in Mariupol.
Civilians always pay the highest price.
It comes as no surprise that the Kremlin uses fossil fuels to try to blackmail us.
The cost of this fight is not cheap, but caving to aggression is going to be more costly if we allow it to happen.
Railway lines here have been so important throughout this crisis, getting people out of the east, out of the country to safety, and bringing in those all-important foreign weapons. The strikes this morning came just hours after Antony Blinken and Lloyd Austin, the U.S. Secretaries of State and Defense, left Ukraine. They traveled to Kyiv by train, so another message from Russia there.
The U.S. is promising more military help today and vowing that Washington will do everything it can to help Ukraine win.
We don't know how the rest of this war will unfold, but we do know that a sovereign, independent Ukraine will be around a lot longer than Vladimir Putin's on the scene.
Опасность серьезная, она реальна, ее нельзя недооценивать.
That's a very stark warning coming from a country like Russia.
Russia this morning being accused of weaponizing energy supplies.
Zrobimy wszystko, aby obciążyć Rosję karami kontraktowymi, ponieważ jest to działanie zupełnie pozaprawne, pozakontraktowe.
Those 2 countries are refusing to pay in rubles, something Vladimir Putin has demanded in a move meant to counter economic sanctions targeting Russia's economy.
It comes as no surprise that the Kremlin uses fossil fuels to try to blackmail us. Our response will be immediate, united, and coordinated.
These are the latest images. They appear to reveal mass graves dug on the outskirts of Mariupol. Ukrainian officials claim the satellite photos show something Russian forces have tried to cover up.
And there are still thousands of people who remain trapped in Mariupol, but evacuation efforts over the past few days have completely failed.
Была бойня. Страшное дело. Когда мины над головой летали. Мины, снаряды, все такое, что не пережить.
This horrific scenario demonstrates something that is unfortunately always true.
the civilians always pay the highest price.
He toured places whose names are now symbolic with the brutality of Russia's invasion of Ukraine: Bucha, Irpin, Borodianka.
It makes me feel how important it is, a thorough investigation and accountability.
The Russian Defense Ministry put out a statement about this attack today, saying they were targeting and destroyed a nearby factory that was making rockets and missiles. But that statement did not mention any of the damage, again, at this residential building, nor did it mention the fact that this strike was deadly. Very brazen timing of this strike. Zelensky said that Russia is trying to humiliate the UN.
Это очень трудно. Наши братья, спасибо им всем за освобождение.